Music. Music.
Hello, hello. And welcome to the inaugural edition of A Music Show. My name is Andy Gibson, but this music show does not have a name yet. But what it does have is an interview with Wayne Coyne of the Flaming Lips from the Lips tribute show at the Opolis, and in-studio guest Cheyenne playing a few songs on the eve of their new album's release, and much, much more. Enough of the chit-chat, though. Let's get it on. First off, I'd like to introduce you to one of the co-hosts, although he needs no introduction, Justin, the King Gallus. King, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. The King and I were at the Opolis earlier this month for the Flaming Lips tribute show / new book signing. Waking Up with a Placebo Head Wound is a 184-page book featuring photos and essays covering the last 17 years of the Lips life, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate than having 13 local bands cover the Lips while Wayne Coyne MCs. Plenty of bands on hand. What do you think some of the highlights were?
Well, I think Cheyenne was certainly a highlight, seeing as how they'll be on the show a little bit later.
You bet.
I really enjoyed Mandragora. I think that they've got an amazing set. What did you think of Mandragora?
Mandragora, that was about the time I showed up, and their tambourine player was very special, and they put on a good show, yeah. What were some of the other highlights there?
Well, Student Film, I think, was probably the highlight, definitely one of the highlights of the show. They had the most spirit and the idea of what the sound was all about, how the show was going to feel, and I think it was great.
I think 40 Minutes of Hell, they kind of made the Lips songs their own and put all the theatrics that Wayne would want.
As they always do, and Brandon is always an entertaining person to watch on stage, and it's always loud.
Yeah, I was...
it's loud as hell.
I was front row for that one, and I still can't hear very well. Also on hand was The Separation, and Star Death and White Dwarves closed the show down. What did you think about those guys?
I thought they were great. I think they've got quite a future ahead of them, and an entertaining band to definitely go check out anytime you can.
Overall, I thought it was very fun. It would have been nice if it would have sped up just a little bit of time between the bands, but all in all, I thought it was great.
There was a smoke machine. I mean, there was a smoke machine, and there were drinks. It was great. What else do you want from the place?
Yeah. And let's take an extended listen to some of the acts that played that evening. And we had a chance to catch up with Wayne Coyne after the show to talk to him about the new book, a new album, and women's restrooms.
See, they're sweeping up. See, they're sweeping up. Look, that's the women's bathroom. You ever seen one of those? Look what goes on in there. Let's do the interview. It's not that exotic, is it?
It's pink. That's pretty exotic. All right.
It's not pink, is it? It's pink lighting. There is a pink light in there. You're right. What about the men?
White.
Yeah, it's just a light. Yeah, you're right. It is exotic. You're right.
Definitely rolling.
All right, sweeping up after the big Flaming Lips tribute here. Did you see him sweeping? Did you see that? Yeah. This is the longest show you've ever had here, isn't it? It's almost 2:30.
All right. You ready?
We're ready, yes.
All right. What do you think? How'd it go tonight? Wait, first I'm here with Wayne Coyne, Flaming Lips.
Yeah, it was. For me, that's one of that's got to rank as one of the top awesome experiences of my life. To have this many bands, to have people organize this, spend their time, all the bands go to some effort to make it weird and unique or whatever. All doing Flaming Lips songs, doing Flaming Lips-ish things.
Does it make you feel old? I mean, it's a tribute.
No, it's great. You know, I mean, it really is. I mean, I think a lot of guys who have been around as long as I have would think that there would, between the old guys and the young guys, there would be some animosity or some resentment or some jealousy or just whatever, you know. And I'm lucky that I'm here with all these young, current, freaky, weirdo bands, and they all like us and accept us as part of their own, instead of thinking we're some old thing from the 80s or something, you
Right.
know. So no, it's wonderful.
So, and tell us about the book, too.
Well, the book, I think that's what sort of spurred this whole idea, is we had this collection of, you know, I've known Michelle since 1987, and she's been taking pictures. See you, Dennis. All right.
Scoot up if you need.
All right, we'll see. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess it was about a year ago we started talking about the idea of collecting all these Flaming Lips pictures, making some sort of elaborate artistic coffee table book, just for like sort of, you know, the upper echelon of the elite Flaming Lips fans out there. And I say it only because it's $120, and you know, who's got that much just to spend on a book? It's a wonderful book, and it really is, you know, like a work of art. But again, you know, it's a lot of money. But it's just available on our website, just for these hardcore, but hardworking Flaming Lips fans. Yeah. And that was sort of I think the catalyst for sort of organizing this, because it's kind of retrospective. You know, we're looking back at pictures of us, you know, stuff that we're doing on the movie now, back to 1987 when Michael had more hair and we were all a lot younger and stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of the movie, what are you guys working on right now?
Well, we're still working on the Christmas on Mars movie. I'm gonna be finished with that in June, and we're working on a new, you know, what will be the next upcoming, you know, Flaming Lips record, and that'll probably be, I would think like this time next year or something, next fall or something. By the time we, you know, figure out what all that's going to be and stuff. But yeah, always doing, you know, 3 or 4 things at one time.
And do you have the house decorated yet for Christmas?
Yeah, but luckily we have some friends come over and helped us do it, and it looks wonderful. Yeah, so but it's not overly elaborate. I mean, we got some nice lights, and it's a nice, you know, we don't want to make it look like we're overly competitive or anything, because I just like it that people do something just to make the neighborhood a little bit brighter. You know, why not? Yeah, just a little bit of effort. That's fine. You know.
And I'm sure, as you well know, I was a tiger on your stage in London.
That's
Was I
exactly
the best
it, yeah.
tiger you've ever seen?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. I mean, didn't you think so?
I thought so.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you had a little bit of Okie pride at stake there, and
Right.
how humiliating and that would have been to come all the way to, where was it?
London.
Was it in London?
The Hammersmith, I think?
Oh, there you go. To come all the way there and then be sort of average would be kind of a waste of effort. So yeah.
Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate
fellas.
it.
I'm glad you waited around.
Yes, it was our
grab
pleasure.
a broom and we'll clean this damn place up.
All right, thanks.
All right.
And thanks to Jill and Andy and everyone at the Opolis for everything. Now I'd like to introduce to you my fellow co-host, Jay Kool-Aid Man Curry. Jay, thanks for being on.
Kool-Aid Man, I don't know where that came from.
Nobody
The
does.
football announcing days. Speaking of the Opolis, we went over to Guestroom Records the other day, and we talked to the owner, you'll find out his name in just a second, about what's on everybody's holiday wish list this season.
Thanks. I'm here with Justin Sowers, the Chief Financial Officer at Guestroom Records, and we want to know what every fan of music should have this Christmas.
Well, the new Nirvana box set with 3 discs worth of unreleased stuff is a big seller. Box sets are always big sellers for Christmas. The Pavement reissue, Crooked Rain reissue has been selling a lot. Brian Wilson Smile CD, a lot of people are buying that for their parents, so those seem to be the kind of standout. Oh, and a new band called Arcade Fire on Merge Records has been selling really well, who opened up for the Unicorns and just blew everybody who was there away a couple of months ago. So those are kind of the big sellers the past month.
And what about for those people who hate music? What are they looking to buy this Christmas?
The new Britney Spears is coming out shortly. I'm sure 50 Cent has a new mixtape coming out today or tomorrow. That would be my...
All right. Very good. Let's send it back to the studio. And as we mentioned earlier, one of the bands on that Lips tribute bill was these guys, Cheyenne, 2 of the members of Cheyenne, Beau and Ryan. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Tell us about the big news.
Well, we recently signed to an independent record label out of Kansas City called The Record Machine, and they're going to release our full length on February 15th, 2005.
And tell us a little bit about that album.
Well, it was recorded over the past year here in Norman. A good friend of ours named Chad Copeland. He he, along with our friends from Esther Drang, and as well as the band, just recorded the record over the past year, and we're pretty proud of it. And I think we're excited to start playing shows on the record and start touring a little bit and see where that takes us.
Well, we caught your show the other night at the Opolis. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the songs you picked, why you picked them?
Well, to be honest, I'm a little ignorant of the Flaming Lips back catalog, but at the same time, I think we were afraid to tackle some of the newer stuff, like from the Soft Bulletin or Yoshimi Battles of Pink Robots. I kind of felt like everybody knows the songs really well, and if you fouled them up in some way, they would be easier to spot. So, actually, our lap steel player Brian, he's a big fan, and he suggested a song, and then another friend of ours, Jill, she suggested another one. So I took their advice, and
That sounded great.
thanks.
And tell them what 2 songs you ended up choosing.
Oh man, do you remember the names?
Jets.
Yes, one was called Jets, and then parentheses it was Cupid's Kiss versus the Psyche of Death.
And the other one is 5-Star Mother Superior Rain.
Yeah, so
It was awesome.
Very
One
good.
of the highlights of the show, I thought.
cool, thanks.
And what do you guys got planned for the future?
Man,
Okay.
I just gotta work tomorrow.
Breakfast.
Yeah. Well, I'll go home. Let's see. Well, like I said, the record will come out on February 15th, and we're currently setting up some regional Midwestern traveling with some friends, touring, and
As they say.
you know, travel.
Right, yeah.
Just thought you
Hit
didn't
the
know the lingo. Touring
Gigs.
gigs.
And,
Is that how you say it?
and right now, I think we have a CD release show planned for, I think it's February 18th in Norman somewhere. So we'll be on the lookout for that.
Very
Be
good.
ready.
So yeah, get ready.
All right.
Get ready.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having
Thank
us
you.
again.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Play a few
All right.
songs.
These guys are Cheyenne. Go check them out next time they're playing around town.
Well, anymore, I tend to talk a little slow about the days I used to know. And anymore, I tend not to forgive. I only just forget. I have found the safest times are only the times when you are lonely. I'm kind of lonely anymore. Anymore, I escape into the hills. They never get their fill. And anymore, things get kinda slow. You forget the ones you know. I have found the safest times are only the times when you are lonely. I'm kind of lonely times are only the times when you were lonely. I'm kind of lonely anymore.
Okay, that song was called Anymore, and this song is called A Long While. I just changed the name of the song. Deal with it. 1, 2, 3.
Lord knows I've tried a time or two, but I just can't get to you. Would you believe I've been this way for a long while? And it's likely just a symptom of the books I keep so high above, the bed that's been so lonely for a long downtown has much to say. They just sweep their floors and lock the doors and have a smoke out back to end the day. I sometimes feel it does me good to walk around my neighborhood. The corner store has been there for a long while. And I usually buy a card or two with something I can send to you, but it just winds up sitting for a long downtown has much to say. They just sweep their floors and lock the doors and have a smoke out back to end the day. Nobody downtown has much to say. Just sweep their floors and lock the doors and have a smoke out back to end the day.
And Beau and Ryan of Cheyenne will be doing another song later in the show, so stay tuned in. Now it's time for the segment of the show where we take a minute, just 1 minute, and review a CD we've been listening to. It's called the Compact Disc Review. And joining me is the King. And Justin, we listened to The Secret Machines, Now Here Is Nowhere. We saw these guys at the Green Door not too long ago. Good show. What'd you think of the album?
It was a great show, and it turns out they actually are from Norman, Oklahoma, even though they've made most of their headway by playing in New York and living in New York. They're actually out on a national tour. The record starts off great. It's got kind of a John Bonham sounding drum track on the first wave intact, and from there it moves right into what their hit is. It's called Nowhere Again. It's been getting quite a bit of radio play on, or TV play on MTV too. It has a really cool video. Overall, I think it's a solid album.
As it should get some airplay. The hits are good on this album, but the misses are complete misses, in my opinion. It's got some strong songs, like you said, The First Wave Intact, great song. Kind of trails off after that, I think. Overall, a decent album. And I had high hopes since one of the guys was in Tripping Daisy.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think that there are some ups and downs in the record, but I think that's just all about creating the mood.
Oh, that's the sound. You know
That's
that
the mood.
sound.
What am
It's
I on,
the
a
comedic
Riley factor?
The comedic trumpet means, what do you rate this CD? It's on a scale of 0 to 5 Grammys. Of course, 5 Grammys being the worst you can be, 0 Grammys being excellent.
I'm
What
going
do
to
you give
say 1 Grammy. I think it's a great record. I think that you just need to listen to it a lot more.
it? All right, I'll take that into consideration. But for now, I'm giving it 3 Grammys. And thanks for joining us on the Compact Disc Review.
Okay, thanks Justin and Andy. Up next, we have a segment of the show where we go out and talk to you, the people on the street, about what is in your CD player. Vote.
Amanda. The last name is Koenig. Right now I'm listening to a group called The Postal Service, and a really good song on there is called Such Great Heights.
Marisa Anderson, Anderson, and currently I am listening to Celia Cruz in my CD player, one of her greatest hits album, and my favorite song is La Vida es un Carnaval.
It's my favorite song, too.
Right.
AYOTUNDE. I'm listening to R. Kelly on my CD right now.
STAR, last name OOSAHWE, and I'm listening to a Burn CD that I made that has like Broken by Seether, I think, some Ryan Cabrera, everything, just a little bit of everything.
JONATHAN space SHEA. I've been listening to an old CD by Joan Osborne, album Relish, and I guess my favorite song on there is Let's Just Get Naked.
This is TRAVISGARRETT. I listen to a lot of Arcade Fire, Neutral Milk Hotel, and Modest Mouse, pretty much. That's pretty much it.
It's a collection of Igor Stravinsky, Rites of Spring, and The Firebird. I had them both on the same CD. You can't beat that, huh?
Very nice.
And then I think before that we had, what's the guy from Mars Volta? Omar from Mars Volta has a solo CD out where he sort of sounds like some cross between John McLaughlin and Frank Zappa with some kind of Latin band playing with him. It's awesome, but I don't know if you can buy it yet. So, but yeah, Stravinsky and Omar from Mars Volta. That's a good morning, huh?
CHRISBURTON, and I'm currently listening to Matchbox 20, or not. My currently listened to is a Nickelback, their latest CD, and my favorite track on there is "Feel This Good."
You've got to love the comedic trumpet.
Actually, I prefer cowbell.
Oh.
Well, let's take a walk on over and check out what's on the gig forecast.
All right.
All right, welcome to the Gig Guide forecast. Down here, Wednesday, December 29th, we have Resident Funk playing at the Deli. Thursday, December 30th, right in this region here, Gravity Propulsion System at the Conservatory, and way up here, Friday, December 31st, the Hosty Duo at the Deli.
And coming in on New Year's Eve, we've got Slater Kinney, Flaming Lips, and Wilco. It's a couple of my favorite bands at Madison Square Garden if you've got nothing else to do. And if you missed that, down here in Ardmore, January 9th, Styx is playing. I used to live in Ardmore, and there's nothing else to do there. So Styx might be an option. Thanks for joining us on the Gig Guide forecast. And that's the end of our first episode of A Music Show. Hopefully next time we have a name for a music show. If you have any suggestions or any other ideas or comments, please email us. Just let us know you're out there. It's notthelawrencewelkshow@hotmail.com. That's notthelawrencewelkshow@hotmail.com. Thanks to Wayne Coyne and everyone at the Opolis for everything. And until next time, we're going to leave you with one last song from Cheyenne. I'm Andy Gibson. Be good.
We have one more to play, and it's called "You Were the Sound." This is a really, really, really sad song. You can cut that part out. This song is called "You Were the Sound."
You talk like you've seen a ghost, and I believe you for the most part, but I think that you should start to slow down. You haven't slept for days. You swear this is not a phase, and that impression stays. I followed you there, insides turned out, and I finally learned what this was about. And on the way home, the crash was so loud, and you were the sound that just goes to show. Of course you already know, when you find the undertow. I followed you there, insides turned out, and I finally learned what this was about. And on the way home, the crash was so loud, and you were the sound.
Music. Music.